So I've got to do it with movement, and then look. See what I got there? Now, if he's got the neck on me, then I can use my shoulder to turn him. Now I've got the body on him. He's going to try to come inside of that. Now we're here. We're battling this, and then look. See, I slip to the neck. So you're going to do it out of movement is what makes it work. Quick example of your strikes. Number one, best one that we have is take the eye. And check this. Doesn't have to be from here. Most of you have seen us take it from here where I just slide it, find the eye, and then I can take it. But every time I'm pummeling in, there's the eyeball. There's the other eyeball. Okay, so we can rip the eyes very, very easily. Guess what happens when I put my thumb into his eye? Where's his head gonna go? See what he just exposed? Boom. There's the headbutt. I do not do a headbutt like this, or I'm gonna break my own face. A headbutt is not head to head like this. It's me saying, I want this big jaw, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pull it onto the top of my head. See that distinction? It's not this. Okay, so you have eye gouge, you have your headbutts, we have our elbows. For the elbows, I'm not gonna go way back here and go like this. There's a small release and there's a catch. I'm gonna catch and elbow at the same time. So we have headbutts, we have eye gouge, we have elbows. For the knees, we don't need to do this. Okay, a lot of you train sport and you see like, that's because I can't knee him in the groin. Just there.
Or the takedown.
Yeah, and because they can't take down. Okay, we don't need to do that. I just need to send it straight into the groin. That's gonna be a lot harder for him to catch that than if I'm coming up here and you can see the problem when you get too wrapped up in the container of a rule set. Okay, so I want to regress this back to assume that some of you here have never done a clinch before. So we need to fundamentally understand what the purpose is. Tito? So Tito coaches a lot of fighters. How many times have you seen people that are beginners pummel themselves out of the good position?
Oh, yes, I look at it all the time.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
All the time.
So what we're saying, the pummel is me trying to get all the way to the inside. Right now, he's got one inside, one on me. I've got one inside on him. So the pummel is me going here, and when he's countering me, then that's what makes it a flow drill. But if I have two on the inside and then I'm trying to bring my arm out, that's not good. So we need to clarify what the purpose is before we start getting into anything else. So I'm gonna have you guys do this. Tito, you're gonna be dumb for a second, okay? So me, I'm the primary attacker on the pummel. So I'm the one doing the move. Tito's not going to counter me yet. I'm going to pummel my arms. All right, we're gonna look at our clinch and pummel package. This is really important that we can approach this in a task-based way so we can plug this in. A lot of the people that we're working with are coming from traditional backgrounds. Whether you're doing Wing Chun or you come from a karate background, we want to be able to just take a simple package and plug that in to where you understand the shapes that you're gonna run into in this modern world that's been influenced so much from MMA. So we're gonna look at a couple of different positions and show you guys how to build this training method. Okay, so I wanna regress this back to assume that some of you here have never done a clinch before. So we need to fundamentally understand what the purpose is. Tito? So Tito coaches a lot of fighters. How many times have you seen people that are beginners pummel themselves out of the good position?
Oh, yes, I look at it all the time.
Yeah, it's really frustrating.
All the time.
So what we're saying, the pummel is me trying to get all the way to the inside. Right now, he's got one inside, one on me. I've got one inside on him. So the pummel is me going here, and when he's countering me, then that's what makes it a flow drill. But if I have two on the inside and then I'm trying to bring my arm out, that's not good. So we need to clarify what the purpose is before we start getting into anything else. So I'm gonna have you guys do this. Tito, you're gonna be dumb for a second, okay? So me, I'm the primary attacker on the pummel. So I'm the one doing the move. Tito's not going to counter me yet. I'm going to pummel my arms inside where I have two. No, I can in the way. So the reason I was showing you the lift, you don't have to lift up your training partner, but I was just showing you the danger of allowing somebody to get inside, how easy it is to elevate somebody. When we're not on mats, you train on concrete, that's a serious problem. Now you have gravity coming down, you getting thrown on concrete can be bad. So it's important, especially as teachers, that we make sure when we're introducing these kind of drills to our students, they understand why we're pummeling. So that's the first drill. We'll do it one more time without messing up my mic. Tito's gonna pummel inside. I'm not gonna counter him, and he's going to get to this position. If you wanna lift your partner up, lift him up. Cool. If not, check it out. He's just gonna stay here and hold the position for a second while I give him some movement. And he's just staying stuck to me. Cool, break, reset, and then I go. Okay, right after this, we'll connect to the pummel drill, but I think these regressions are important for your understanding. So once you've done that, now you understand what we don't want to happen. So when I use the term primary attacker, that means the person that's initiating. The secondary attacker is the person that is dealing with that. So right now, we're still not gonna go all the way to a random pummel. Tito is going to try to do exactly what he just did in the last round. He's gonna try to get double inside, but he's not gonna just do it all the time. He's gonna break the rhythm a little bit. So we'll be here, but whenever he goes, I didn't let him have it. I'm just feeling, connecting to him. Whenever he goes, I didn't let him have it. Whenever he goes, I didn't let him have it. See how that's creating something different, because now I'm feeling and connecting to him instead of, hey bro, let's do this little thing because it looks cool in the UFC locker rooms. Okay? So figure out one person is the primary attacker. You're the one every time from this neutral position trying to get to double unders. The other person is then going to pummel their arm inside so it remains neutral. Everybody clear? Midway through the round, I will say switch. That doesn't mean switch partners. That means switch the primary attacker. So a couple things that we're noticing. One is, remember where we started. We talked about your base, your balance, and then we also needed to look at posture. But some of you are getting in kind of a weird position where your feet aren't matching your upper body and you feel really off balance. So if you feel off balance, fix it. But general idea is we're mirroring each other this way. This should be comfortable for most of you. The next thing I want you to start thinking about is, in our clinch package, I'm showing you some elements of some sportive shapes, but we're never doing this for sport. So we got to think about outside of wrestling. Yes, we may want to borrow this position from wrestling, but we have to realize we're plugging that in to a much larger spectrum. So think about where your head is. Some of you are putting your head way down here. Now, I might do that to try to pin an arm or something in wrestling, that's fine. But for MMA, he can knee me in the face right here. Not good. Now, if you look at where my head always is, I want that. The Mike Tyson? Ah. Okay, so we got to be conscious of this. So if I feel Tito's head starting to turn into me a little bit, I'm like,
You're not biting me.
No, he's not going to bite me. I'm going to bite him. Okay, that's got to be plugged in so we don't forget, just because we're doing a sport for a second, that it's not sport. Cool? Keep those things in mind. Your base, your balance, your posture, the breath still. Some of you are getting really tense. The spine alignment, so you don't get all of those things stolen from you. And now, either person can lead. So now, when most people just tell you pummel, these were all regressions to get you to pummel and look better while you pummel. So now I don't have to wait on Tito. If I want to go, I can go. If he decides to go, I can go too. Sometimes we may go multiple times in a row. Fine. Other times, maybe we're pushing and pulling. I'm checking his head. Oh, it's not down. Good. There's the ear. Took a little nibble. So start plugging these things in, but now do the pummel drill. But here's the deal. It can elevate for a second. It's good. It's healthy. Like get a little raw for a second. Push, pull. It's good. As soon as you feel yourself getting tense, bring it back down, but check it out. We can do this very much like Tai Chi speed, super relaxed, but still keep these principles. Look at the focus of our arms. Look at the spirals. See, I snuck a little elbow in there. But see how that still looks very different from this. You guys seeing the distinction? Wrestling doesn't have to be, I'm saying wrestling right now because we're using a wrestling posture. But this wrestling package doesn't have to be something really complicated. It's something that you should easily be able to insert. It just needs a little clarity if this is not how you came up. How many of you have a Wing Chun background or have studied Wing Chun? A few of you, probably more online. Check this out. Show you something really cool. So Sifu was showing the different reference points. Put your arms out like this for me. So when we talk about trapping, we have 2 on the outside, 1 in, 1 out, 2 on the inside, 1 in, 1 out on this side, 2 here, or double here. Check this out. 2 on the outside, 1 in, 1 out on this side, all the way out on this side, all the way out on this side, double inside. It's the same exact reference points. When you understand that, then you can clinch and pummel and play, and it doesn't have to be so complicated. Our trapping reference points are exactly the same as our clinch reference points. So this was the body. This was the first place we started. Now we're going to move up to the neck. For street fighting, this is more where we like to go. Like to get to the neck because that's where we can use a lot of our fight-ending tools. But I wanted you to understand the base of the grappling part first. So now, I'm going to move up here, and I'm going to start where I want to be. So that is 2, both of mine inside. I've got double inside position. First thing is I want to make sure that I'm not just standing here. Okay, this is not a rest position for me where I'm just going to stand and hang on Tito. You see people stand really tall sometimes. That's usually in arcs that are not training takedowns. So from here, I need to affect his base and his balance and his posture. I'm doing those things by pulling with my arms and turning my feet. First thing I want you to do is just get this pull. I'm going to pull and I'm going to pull. I pull him to one shoulder, push him back out. I'm going to pull him to the other shoulder. Can that be a shoulder butt? Of course. But you're not right now. I'm just trying to get his head moving. Once you've done that a couple of times, now watch my feet. Now I turn him. So I move his head, and then I turn his base. Okay? You're not going to yank each other that hard. This Tito-y stuff. So easy on your partner's necks, but I do need you to be able to change their base. Because if I just stand here with Tito, he's going to start to do shit. Okay, it's really important that we affect their base and their balance. Now, a lot of people will give you different advice on how to grab the neck. Here's the deal. If you go to a Muay Thai gym, they're going to tell you not to grab the neck. They're going to tell you to grab high on the back of the head and to go like this so you can better break their posture. That is cool and very correct for what they're doing. Not wrong, but a distinction for us. We do sometimes grab the neck because we're imagining that they're a lot larger than us. So Marlon, come here for a second. Or Shane, you're taller. I can't grab his head. So with Shane, I would have to do this. Now I've got him. But the neck is what I needed to anchor onto. So, and we're also not as concerned about breaking this posture. Here, Tito, how easy can you get under my elbows right now? Done. Go for a shoot now. So, right or wrong is what are you applying it against? Does that make sense? Cool. All right, so here's where you're starting. Get the neck, pull him in, push him out, turn his base. Keep moving his head, change his base. We'll switch. He'll grab me when I'm doing this. I'm trying to keep a good posture, just staying with him. Good job. Distinction, when I say grab, I don't want to see this though. I want to hear that sound. Where's he at? And in reality, guys, this is a hit. I'm not doing it to him right now. But I'm racking that into the back of his head. But look at my hands. Here. I don't need you to go all the way here, but not here. If I'm there, what's he going to do? He's either going to come in, he's going to go away, or he's going to freeze. If he comes in, there was my elbows. If he pulls away, I'm connecting him to my lats and then into the ground. If my fingers are like this and he pulls away, I've lost my position. I don't want him to have both of his hands on my neck like this. So if he does, my job is going to be the same. I'm going to bring my arms inside, 1, and then 2. Now I have 2 inside. Even if his hands remained on my neck, I've got the better position because I have the inside spot. You guys see this? Now, do not leave your heads up here, because I will definitely take the headbutt. So as you're battling for this, you got to be thinking about that. Now, as long as I'm on the inside, I'm good until Tito starts bringing his arms inside. 1, and then I'm going to let him have both right now. So he's going to get the full position. So I feel this is shitty. This is not where I want to be. He's feeling this is good. This is where I want to be. But I want to stay in the shitty position for a second so I understand it. And now I'm going to take it. Now he's going to stay in the shitty position for a second. Now he's going to take it. You see that difference before we go to, now, neutral, pummel it. Okay, before we start going neutral into a pummel, I want you to feel the controlled position and feel the shit of being in that position. So now we're going to look at this from the neutral pummel idea, but more from this Thai clinch position instead of the body. So I showed you I wanted to be here, but he's also intelligent now too. So he's bringing an arm inside. So when I start to bring this one underneath to get that position, he's doing the same thing on the other side. If he starts to bring that one underneath, I'm going to do the same thing so we don't allow each other to get to a dominant position. And then we're trying to cut each other off now. See, I got him for a moment. Did you see how I got him? Mm-hmm. Watch close. As I started to come in here, he started trying to do the same thing, but look, I turned my elbow, so I blocked him. So when I'm here, what we're going to add for this person, when you get to the dominant position, before you take it back, if they get you, like this is like, I got checkmate for a moment. Tito, lightly, is going to start lighting up my body. 1, because you need to experience that, because that's going to happen. And 2, because it's not a bad tactic really quick to sneak in a couple of shots and to loosen up. So sometimes you can box yourself out of the clinch. For you guys, you just go open hand, but you can kind of slap on your partner a little bit. So when he starts slapping on my body, that's where I'm using this. I'm changing his base so he can't get good shots off. And then when he's ready, he's going to start pummeling in. And now we're back to this battle. All right, so reference point 1, we're fighting over neck control. Reference point 2, we're fighting over body control, trying to get double underhooks. This is the 2 positions that we worked. What we want to do now is take these 2 components and sandwich them together. How are we going to make this connection? As I'm moving from here, at any point, instead of bringing my arm here, I can create a little space and see how I snuck the hand up to here. And now I'm in this position. Okay, if he pummels inside and he gets the better position on me, then instead of coming under, sometimes I can find the time to go over, and now I got this position. What's he going to do? He's going to be trying to fight his arm inside. Okay, now we're pummeling from here. And as we're pummeling from here, I find the moment, I jump to his neck. Now I've got double inside. He's hitting me. He's going to eventually pummel inside. Now I'm going to pummel back. He's going to keep pummeling. We're going to battle this. He tried to go for the body. And see, I didn't have to let him. I turned him and used my forearms. So it's a fun little battle, but it shouldn't be too fight, shouldn't be too flow. It's that S Sifu was talking about. Little spurts of rah, and then back to flow. So we're playing with each other. When we were looking at striking, we talk about kind of segmenting the body. So we have things like gates, but even aside from the gates, just looking at high, mid, and low. So if we're talking about clinch and grappling, what is high? Here. So if I make this grip, I'm attacking the high line. What is mid? When he goes from my body. So what would be low? Getting a leg. Shoot. Same system. High, mid, and low lines have to all be looked at. So we're not on mats. We're on concrete. I don't want to see anybody getting dumped. But you're going to do what's called a fit in. So you're just going to fit into the position. So from anywhere, as we're working, just flow with me again, Tito. We're changing positions. I'm switching to the neck. He's hitting my body. I'm moving him. He's gonna start pummeling inside. We're back to this. We're moving around. And then Tito can shoot whenever he wants. Boom! There we go. That's the moment that if you're not training that line, your feet are in the air and you're going, oh shit, I should have wrestled. So we need that line to be there. Now, how am I stopping the shot? So guess what? Sometimes you're not. You need to just be aware of that. That's why we also have to do jiu-jitsu on the ground, especially if you got a good fighter. But there's not going to be one stop because we're changing positions so much. So he's going down, trying to grab one or both legs, not taking me down, but as he goes, so now go slow, Tito. Whenever you want, yeah. Okay, look. Why that arm? Because that arm was there in that moment. Now I would turn and push him off and try to do something else. Sometimes it may be he's going for like a single, and maybe you get an underhook and you're able to break the leg free. So I don't want you to think so much about, I need to know the counter to the single leg. I need to know the counter to the double leg. I need to know the counter to the high crotch. You do, and we can do that later. But right now it's not about that. Right now it's about line familiarization. Getting familiar with those lines coming into the drill so it's not a shock to you. And the most important thing, don't freak out. You don't have to react every time. Let him get the shot in, you'll learn just as much. So let him get some. I would rather you let your partner get all the way in and lift you up than you be super spazzy and do some weird shit because you don't know what to do. If you just accept it a few times, then you're going to start to be more comfortable with it. Oh, there's the timing. There's where I can do some shit. Make sense? Yes, sir. Cool. So we're adding, we've done the high line on the neck. We did the mid line on the body. Now the low line, it's not a drill, it's just an insert. It's a plug-in to both drills. The same thing, even when I'm on the neck, this is really important. A lot of you guys, if you work neck clinch, most of the time this is done in a sport setting where there's no takedowns in Muay Thai. Sweeps, but you can't shoot. So this is really important that as we're playing from here, that he gives me that energy so that I can know I need to drop down, I need to be able to base, use that forearm to stop him. If not, this gets up high and then you're trying to elbow as you're getting dumped. Okay? So adding in the shoot line, you still have the neck, you still have the body, blending the two. Was everybody clear on how to go from the neck to the body? Anybody have trouble there? A little bit? Okay, I'll show you one more time. So if I'm on the body, don't do this, because see, I just gave him better position. So I've got to do it with movement, and then look. See what I got there? Now, if he's got the neck on me, then I can use my shoulder to turn him. Now I've got the body on him. He's going to try to come inside of that. Now we're here. We're battling this, and then look. See how I slip to the neck. So you're going to do it out of movement is what makes it work. But the idea is very simple. If I'm here and you want to stay on the body, I'm going to go over. If I want to go to the neck, I just slide up. If he's got me on the neck, I can pummel under, or I can pummel over. You see there's some extra spiral and shit that's our flavor. The distinction I want to point out is that even though we're taking the shape of Thai clinch, we're taking the shape of wrestling, we still have our own unique flair to our own flavor to everything that we do. So how many of you in here do Tai Chi? Cool. So Tai Chi is wrestling. It's everywhere in there, but I'll give you a couple of examples. So those of you that do the snake creeps down is exactly what I was doing here. Instead of, look, if I try to just circle my arm, Tito, don't let me inside. It's not happening. This guy's got like weird extra muscles all over his body. I'm not breaking this by going like that. What's getting me, and the reason I'm able to get inside on Tito when I do this, is because of the mechanics of the body coiling. Yeah. So it was this motion happening. That's what's getting there. Even the, huh?
I can't stop it.
Yeah. Tai Chi works. Even the pummel. Look at this difference if I do the pummel square. I don't know if that's the right word, but
yeah, I know what
square.
I'm going to stay.
Yeah. So this is a square kind of pummel. There's no spiraling shape. Now watch the spiral. You see it? Now look, whack. So it's all hidden in. You got the elbow strikes that start coming out. There's the elbow, wow, there's the head. At either point, boom. I have this, there's that. I can come back up, turn him. It's all in there. That was a little bit fancier for some of you. I don't want you to try those. We're gonna do our strikes primarily for you guys. What I want you to work on is gonna be doing them from here. So this is where you guys normally see us go for our headbutts, knees, and elbows. Now here's the deal. The reason people struggle to functionalize is because if I start going full speed, throwing elbows, throwing headbutts, firing knees, and Tito is also doing all that too, but also trying to shoot, we could probably pull it off because we train together, and Tito's a pro fighter, and he's good, and we understand each other's timing enough. Two beginners go out there and try to do that. Somebody's going to be going for a shot at the same time as somebody's throwing a knee, and people get hurt. So when people start getting hurt, then they are like, okay, well, we have to just do this and we have to just do this. But then you're building two things separately. We need it to go together. We just have to understand that when we're putting more things in, that's when the intensity's got to drop. I've got to come down, we got to go more flow. And then I can be like, okay, next round, Tito, let's just wrestle. And we can use the individual arts and use the constraints of those arts to increase the intensity so we get to feel that. That's why wrestling is great. That's why Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is great, because you can fight. But we can't stay on that. We also have to bring our other pieces back into this. But we got to know, for safety, now we got to switch a little bit less fight, a little more flow. Follow me? Okay, so quick example of your strikes. Number one, best one that we have is take the eye. And check this. Doesn't have to be from here. Most of you have seen us take it from here, where I just slide it, find the eye, and then I can take it. But every time I'm pummeling in, there's the eyeball. There's the other eyeball. Okay, so we can rip the eyes very, very easily. Guess what happens when I put my thumb into his eye? Where's his head gonna go? See what he just exposed? Boom. There's the headbutt. I do not do a headbutt like this, or I'm gonna break my own face. A headbutt is not head to head like this. It's me saying, I want this big jaw, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pull it onto the top of my head. See that distinction? It's not this. Okay, so you have eye gouge, you have your headbutts, we have our elbows. For the elbows, I'm not gonna go way back here and go like this. There's a small release and there's a catch. I'm gonna catch and elbow at the same time. So we have headbutts, we have eye gouge, we have elbows. For the knees, we don't need to do this. Okay, a lot of you train sport and you see like, that's because I can't knee him in the groin. Just there.
Or the takedown.
Yeah, and because they can't take down. Okay, we don't need to do that. I'm just moving it straight into the groin. That's gonna be a lot harder for him to catch that than if I'm coming up here and you can see the problem when you get too wrapped up in the container of a rule set. Okay, so knees, elbows, headbutts. These are happening from that inside position. As I'm doing that, Tito is mainly preserving himself. He's trying to not die, making sure that he's not getting hit, but he can momentarily light up my body a little bit with some slaps. That's cool. And then whenever he's ready, he just shoots a hand in. Whatever, yep. Now what are we doing? Now we're back to a pummel. But just because I'm pummeling doesn't mean that, look, I still don't have eyes. I still have there. I can still sneak these shots in. You just gotta only go at a pace where you can do it without hurting your partner. So partner preservation is the most important part. All right, so I wanted to just close you guys out with, again, this idea that, especially all of you out there that have this traditional background, all my Kung Fu brothers and sisters, we don't have to drop all the beautiful things about our art just because we're in this world where MMA exists. All of the things that I'm doing have been inside of Tai Chi. The headbutt, knee, and elbow is your golden rooster. If you look at arm drags, Tito, we do cloud hands. Yes, Tai Chi? Check it out. Pummel. An arm drag is cloud hands. The moves are there, and you will very easily find them. You just need to understand the shape of these other plugins. In the world we're in today, we need to understand some wrestling. We need to understand some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. But we can't lose the power, the real power that comes from the human growth potential inside of these other arts. These other our traditional arts are what were designed to shape us as human beings. And there's so much power in that that is beyond anything that we can find in the sport, so we don't want to lose it. We need to bring these things out more. We need to uphold these amazing lineages and arts that have been around. Wing Chun, our Jeet Kune Do lineage, Tai Chi. All of these pieces are what makes JKDA us, makes our brand what they are. We roll. Yes, we do jiu-jitsu. Yes, you need to understand these things. You need to understand MMA because it's 2026. But we understand them so we can plug in the things that we truly do that make us unique, and then so we can find those correlations and those crossovers. And that's where the real magic is going to happen. Cool. Big shout out to Tito. So. Tito's my brother. He comes and sees me all the time. We train. I love this guy. Tito runs 10th Planet in Austin. He's an MMA coach, an amazing coach, coaches a ton of fighters, and he's a blessing for us to have.
It's a blessing for me to be here. You guys have changed my life for the better.
Love you, brother.
Love you.
Thank you.